Welcome to the Career Transition Workshop. Session 6 begins our two-part mini-series on how to conduct your job search campaign. In an ancient letter to the Ephesians, Paul writes, "Therefore be careful of how you walk, not as unwise men, but as wise, making the most of your time." The next two sessions will teach you about search management techniques that will help you make the most of your time. We divide this session into three parts. Part 1 is on key concepts. Here we'd like you to understand the mindset, the methods, the market segmentation, and the mix of methods associated with the management of your search. Part 2 will talk about reactive techniques. Here we would like you to learn about the potential problems, sources of solutions, and a recommended approach for the two reactive techniques. Those are position postings and headhunters. Reactive techniques are where you are prepared to react to something that happens, kind of like the whack-a-mole game in an arcade. Examples are when you spot a position posted somewhere or when you get a call from a recruiter. But if something doesn't pop up, then you're just waiting and wasting time. Part 3 is proactive techniques. Likewise, here we would like you to learn the potential problems, sources of solutions, and recommended approach to two proactive techniques. And these are niche networking and cold contacting. With proactive techniques, you don't wait. You initiate. You set your targets and go after them. So now let's begin with talking about some key concepts. Most job seekers don't have a plan or spend little time in planning. Instead, they are frantically chasing anything that moves, which dilutes their effectiveness. Kind of like randomly roaming the range. Here's what we would tell you to do. Plan your work, then work the plan. In fact, industrial psychologists would tell you that the more time you spend on the plan, the less time you'll spend on the process. You shorten your search when you have a successful plan to execute. So to help you prepare your plan, let's get the right mindset, introduce the methods you'll use, and see how they apply to market segmentation, and show you how the mix of methods relates to your paycheck. Let's begin with getting your mind set on winning words, winning ways. Here are 3 key words associated with your job search. The 3 words are reactive, efficient, activity. You want to be prepared to be reactive, to be opportunistic. You want to be efficient, not wasting time. And you want activity, always on the go. And while these are all good ideas, there are better ideas. Proactive trumps reactive. Remember the cartoon where there's 2 buzzards up in a tree and one says to the other, "Heck, with patience, let's just go kill something." Proactivity initiates action. It makes the most of your time by having you make your own opportunities rather than waiting for them to arrive. Effective trumps efficient. You can get real efficient at mailing out thousands of boilerplate letters to lists of people you don't know. But how effective is that? Job seekers waste time becoming efficient and things they should not be doing at all. Effectiveness is measured by your results, not by your routines. Finally, productivity trumps activity. Imagine me walking around in a circle, just around and around in a circle. Just kind of picture that in your mind. You would say, I'm active walking around in this circle, but I'm not productive. because I'm not gaining on my goal. To make the most of your time, you can't just be busy. You need to set targets and then go tackle them. Don't be like the pilot who informs the passengers, we are lost, but we're making very good time. Now let's talk about methods, proactive and reactive techniques. In a search, a job seeker uses two methods, proactive and reactive, and each method has two techniques. Let us underscore you will use both of these methods and all four of the techniques during your job search. You don't default to one technique or abandon one technique. You use all four techniques all of the time. Both methods attack the open job market, where the goal is to uncover open jobs, open positions, and respond to them, to find where there is a vacancy you can fill. Reactive techniques include position postings. Those would be like internet websites like Monster or Career Builder, or print media like the classified ads, or company listings such as internal postings or external listings. The second reactive technique is headhunters. They're like retained search consultants or contingency search consultants or employment agencies. In contrast to reactive techniques are the proactive techniques. They uncover not only opportunities in the open job market, but in the hidden job market as well. We estimate that the hidden job market is 4 times larger. Therefore, it offers 4 times more opportunities for jobs than the open job market. So you have to ask yourself, why might a position be hidden? That doesn't make any sense. Why would some company want to hide a position that they need to have filled? Well, here are a few ideas that we have. The company may have a problem, not a position. You figure out how to solve their problem, they might create a position just for you. Secondly, they may not want to tip off the competition by advertising for a position related to some new venture or some position that needs to be filled within their organization. Why let the competition know what they're doing? Third, they may want to find a person to replace a person who doesn't know yet that they're going to be replaced. And then finally, the job is not yet really ready to be made public. Maybe it's needed, but just hadn't yet been approved. Maybe the timing isn't just quite right. All of these are, and others are, reasons why a position might still remain hidden. To be proactive, you must have targets. Targets are different than opportunities. With a target, you don't know if there is an opportunity that's there and right for you or not. You don't know if they have a position you can fill or a problem you can solve. But you're going to be proactive and find out. Proactive techniques include niche networking, which is designed to get you information about or introductions into your targets, and then cold contacting, which is the last thing you do. It is used only when networking fails to create a connection. Well, the next concept that we'd like to talk about is market segmentation, looking at the differences between the open versus the hidden market segments. Any good marketing plan involves market segmentation. You divide to conquer. You apply different techniques to different market segments. You sell differently to, say, baby boomers than you do teenagers. We've divided the job market into the two segments, the open job market and the hidden job market. As we've mentioned, the hidden is 4 times larger than the open. In fact, the Cornell University Career Services research confirms this 20-80% split. How should you plan to use each of these 4 search techniques in each job segment? Let's take a look at each technique, beginning with position postings. For the open job market, nearly 2/3 of all open positions are filled through position postings. Companies advertise their job openings by posting them on career websites or on their own website or in classified listings or at job fairs or any other forms of listings. Position postings is the best technique for the open job market segment. For the hidden job markets, Zippo. If you post a hidden job, come on, it isn't hidden. So there are no public lists of hidden jobs. Let's look at the next technique, headhunters. For the open job market, about 15% of all open positions are filled through search firms. Too often, the inexperienced job seeker devotes far too much time trying to court search consultants, hoping that they will be a means to a job. Headhunters don't work for the job seeker. They are paid by the company. For the hidden job market, looking at headhunters, you can see it's a small slice. Sometimes a company will engage a search firm to conduct a kind of a clandestine search or to, say, troll for talent. These are hidden jobs, but these types of searches are really not the mainstay of any real search practice. That's why it's just a sliver. Let's look at niche networking. For the open job market, about as many jobs as headhunters fill, you can find on your own through networking. But let's take a look at the hidden job market. As you can see, niche networking is by far the best technique used for uncovering hidden job. It is the best technique for the hidden job market segment, by far. Finally, let's look at cold contacting. For either job market, a really low percentage of jobs are filled by people cold contacting companies just simply out of the blue. So now that you understand all this, what's the point? What can you learn from market segmentation? Well, the key is to use the right technique for the right market segment. Networking is not, I repeat, not the tool to use to find open positions or open jobs. It doesn't make sense to network into someone, then ask them, do you know any open positions I could fill? Come on, do the math. Let's say that there are 100 jobs out there. Then 20 of them would be in the open job market. Networking in the open job market, that is, asking about open positions through your networking contacts, would fill only 15% of these jobs, or only 3 jobs out of the original 100. 15% of 20% equals 3%, or 3 jobs out of 100. Alternatively, the hidden job market has more potential with 80 opportunities. Networking in the hidden job market, that is asking about problems of your targets, would fill 95% of all these jobs, or 76 jobs out of the original 100. More than 25 times more powerful technique when used properly. So, when you're networking, ask people not, hey, do you know about any open positions? Ask them, do you personally know or know someone who would know someone in one of these companies I've targeted? Do you know, or do you know someone who would know someone in one of my target companies? Simple as that. Well, we've looked at the mindset. We've looked at methods. We've looked at the market segmentation. Let's take a look at mix. The right mix of these methods relates to the money you make. The proper percentage relates to your paycheck. As you can see, we've got big buck, middle buck, and little buck folks all in the job search. For helping you understand, I'm going to say big bucks are people making 6 digits or more. Little buck people would be maybe people making under 50,000. All right, so middle buck people are going to be somewhere 50 to 100. So if you are a big buck person, you can see that 75% of your search should be based upon using proactive techniques like niche networking. For example, if Steve Jobs lost his job from Apple, I don't think he would be looking in the Cupertino Daily News for a job. On the other hand, if you're a little buck person, most of the time won't be spent networking, but with positions postings. You need to use each technique to different degrees. It's kind of like a balanced financial portfolio. All techniques have their problems. All problems can be overcome and produce positive outcomes. So here's what you need to do. Track your time. Over the next 3 weeks, see where your time is going. If you are out of balance, then you are not making the most of your time. Now on to part 2, reactive techniques. Let's now evaluate each of the techniques, starting with the reactive techniques. For each technique, we will discuss the potential problems, solution sources, and recommended approach.